Hey, it's Tom from WPWithTom.com. In this beginner-friendly tutorial, I show you how to make a landscaping website in a step-by-step process. A website like this can easily increase your sales and number of clients in your local area and separate you from the competition. I use a free theme, a free website builder. The only costs are a domain name and hosting, which is required for anyone who wants to have a website live and on the internet. So if you're looking to create a landscaper website for yourself, this is the tutorial for you. Let's dive in. The first thing that we're going to need to do is sign up for hosting and get a domain name. So we need web hosting and a domain name so our website can appear live and on the internet for other people to be able to find. I personally recommend using GreenGeeks, and that's what I'm going to go through in this tutorial itself, but there are other options out there as well. I'm going to have a link in the description below for GreenGeeks. If you use that, that is my affiliate link, and I greatly appreciate it. It helps me to be able to continue bringing tutorials like this for people online for free. Now, if you already have a domain name and hosting with someone else at this time, you can just skip this section. I'm going to have timestamps in the description below this video that you can just click on to go to the next section where we start setting up the website. So the first thing that we're going to do is navigate over to where it says WordPress hosting right here. And there's three different plans right here: the EcoSite Lite, EcoSite Pro, and EcoSite Premium. Now, the key difference between these plans is that the domains hosted on EcoSite Lite right here, they only allow one to be hosted here. And on Pro and the Premium, you're allowed to host unlimited domain names on them. That's the biggest difference between each of these plans. Now, if we scroll down, we can see that there's some other things like nightly backups, free website transfers. There's a free domain name included, so if you don't have a domain name yet, you can get one for free with the purchase of a plan. And you can see right here, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Also, it includes Cloudflare CDN, and that can help speed up your website as well. So there's a lot of big positive things about these plans that most WordPress plans from other hosts don't actually include. So if you're happy with one of these options, I would recommend either the Pro if you're going to have multiple websites, or the Lite if you only intend to have one. I'm going to go over here and click Get Started on EcoSite Lite and just go through the process. So here you're going to need to choose your domain name. If you already have one, you can use I want to use an existing domain name and go through the process here. I'm going to go as if we don't have a domain name, and I'm just going to put in terrificwp.com. And this is all just for an example. Here you're going to be able to fill out your information. I actually already have a plan, so I'm not going to go through all these steps. But some things you want to be aware of is there is this Whois privacy. It's 83 cents per month to have this, and this will keep your information private so it's not on the internet for everyone to see. The other thing that you want to look at here is they have different lengths for the plans. The durations make the plan cheaper as you sign up for a longer duration of a plan. So if you were to just sign up for the yearly plan, you would only pay $69.35 for the year. And then if you were to do 3 years, you would pay $116.15. To be honest with you, to have a website live for $116 for 3 years on the internet is pretty crazy to me, especially if you're making a business or creating something that's going to generate revenue for you. It's a no-brainer to sign up for a longer plan, in my personal opinion. I don't get any benefit if you sign up for a longer plan as an affiliate or anything like that. I just think it makes a lot more sense as far as cost and what you can save. Just be aware of those options. And again, this EcoSite Lite, you only can have one domain name on. The others you can have unlimited. So after you've filled out all the information on this page, you can click where it says Create Account and Get Started. I actually already have an account, and because of that, I'm going to dive into the next section as if we're logging in to the area here, this front end area right here where it says customer login with the information that we just filled out on the order page. You should get an email confirmation as well, and we'll just go from there and pick it up on the next section where we install WordPress itself and then begin to go over the WordPress dashboard area and make some little changes to improve our overall experience within the back end of our website. So let's dive into that next. Okay, so if we're on this GreenGeeks homepage here, we can simply just go to customer login to get started with going into the cPanel and then installing WordPress. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put in the information that we just used to sign up in this section. I'm just going to put in my email and password right now. And after we log in, we're going to be in this area right here. It's going to tell you what kind of plan you have, and then there's going to be some options on the left side. So right here we see the actions which say manage and cPanel. I'm just going to click on cPanel, and that will bring us into the back end here. So once we're in the control panel here, we can look for where it says WordPress here on the bottom left. It's under Softaculous Apps Installer. Let's just click on WordPress, and then I'm going to go to where it says Install Now, and here I can input the information that I want. Now I'm going to go through this with you, as many of you it might be your first time doing this. I'm going to change this to say https://, and that is because we have SSL, and it says right here, if your site has SSL, then choose the protocol HTTPS. Now over here, it's going to be your domain name. If you have more, you can choose in this area. I'm just going to use WP Fundamentals for this tutorial here. And here you can choose your site name and description. We can always edit this later. I'm going to leave it as is just because I want to show you where you can edit it within the dashboard later. But if you want to change the site name and description, you could put your business and then like a brief sentence or short sentence about your business or what your motto is or your slogan or something like that. Down here, we can choose what our admin login and password is. I'm just going to make this say landscaping, and I'm going to then put in a password. I'm going to hide the password just for this video and make it something that you can remember. And then this admin email is where you'd be able to recover this login and password if you weren't able to log in. So make it a good email that you have access to be able to recover this information if needed. And after you've put that in, we can just go down. You can choose your site language. I'm going to leave mine as English. And here I'm going to click on this one. It says limit login attempts. I like this plugin. It's a security related plugin. And all these plugins are actually pretty good here. I'm going to just click this one for now and install that one as we go. I'm going to show you how to install plugins later on, so I don't want to install too many here. And if we go down, we can just go and click install after that. Now this does take a few seconds to install here. It says 3 or 4 minutes, but it never takes that long. And there we go, it is installed. So after we installed it right there, we can actually go back and activate our SSL, or our site secure lock. So if we're back here in this dashboard area after we log into GreenGeeks, so if you're in the home page of GreenGeeks, this is where you log into. We can go on the left where it says security, and then add SSL certificate. And here you would choose from the drop down which site you want to add on and the domain name, and hit continue. And then to verify that it's set up securely, you can go over here, SSL certificates, and then it will say active for your domain name. It will say let's encrypt right there, and it says certificate issued. You can manage it right here and turn it on and off, uninstall it, reinstall it, whatever you need to do right in that area. So that's how you change or add SSL to make your website more secure for your users and just basically provide a better user experience overall. So if we go back over here to the Softaculous Apps Installer, we can see that our administrative URL is right here. It says wp-fundamentals.com/wp-admin/. So we're going to be using this with our domain name, whatever your domain name is, .com, .net, .org, /wp-admin. This wp-admin is going to be the same across the board for whatever website that you're making. So I'm just going to right click and open this in a new tab here, and it actually takes me right into the dashboard. So let me go up here and log out real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I just set up the username as landscaping, and it says you can log in with your username or email address, and then I'm going to input the password that I just created just a moment ago for this when we were doing the install, and log in. So notice it says wp-login. You can also log in there, or wp-admin at the end of your URL, at the end of your domain name here. And then we'll just click log in. If you lose your password, you can cover it there, and I'll log in here, and now we're back within the dashboard. So now that we've gotten in here, let's go over how to clean up some of the things within the dashboard to make it a better experience for us overall. I'm going to actually X out of these other two, and I'm going to open up the site here. If I hover over where it says My Blog, I'll right click, open in a new tab, and this is what our website looks like right now. It looks very bland, very basic, but we're going to change that very quickly here in the next few minutes. But first, I just want to dive into some of the settings that I think we should change as we're going along here. So some things that you might want to do is clean up the site a little bit. We'll go down to where it says Post, and it says Hello World. You see right here it says Hello World. Now this is a default or a dummy post. I'm just going to go and click Trash on it to remove it. And then once you put things into trash, and if you're not going to use them ever again, you want to go into Trash and then click Delete Permanently. So now it says one post, permanently delete it. If we go over here and we refresh the page, it says nothing found. There's no post there anymore. So if we went down to pages, you can do the same thing. I'm going to delete the sample page here. And I'll go to Trash and I'll delete permanently as well. If we go over to Appearance, Themes, basically a theme is like a template or a demo that we can work and build off of. And we're going to be using an awesome one in here that makes things a lot easier to get started with. So let's go and click on where it says Theme Details on 2017, and I'll click Delete, and then I'll go to 2016, I'll click on Theme Details and delete in the lower right as well, and confirm the deletion. And from here we can go down to where it says Plugins, and I just told you we installed this Loganizer security plugin, but there's some on here that you don't really need. This Hello Dolly one is just a plugin or basically a symbolization of it. And I'm going to delete that, and I'll also delete this one for the anti-spam one as well. You can leave that one if you want, but I just don't really like it myself. I don't really use it. And the other thing that I wanted to just go over really quickly here is go to where it says Settings. And if we just click on that, here's where you can change your site title and your tagline. So see right here on our website right now it says My Blog, My WordPress Blog. You can change that very quickly. So let's just say you want it to be calling it Green Thumb, if that was the name of your business, local landscaping in Denver, for example. And I just chose a random city. I've never even been to Denver before, but if we go down here, we can see it says time zone. You can change that and adjust it to what time zone you're in. You can also change the date structure here, how the time would appear, when the week starts on. You can customize this to whatever you would like and just save the changes here at the bottom. Now the key thing in here in this section is if we go over to where it says permalinks, I want you to change the structure to be post name. So the reason we do this is because if we were to write a post, and it won't come into play much because we're not going to have a blog within this website itself, but if you had a post, it would show up as P equals 123. This would show up as, let's say you wrote a post on landscaping services. Let's just call the post. It might say /landscaping-services. You would know what that is about before you even click on it because it says landscaping services on the link rather than if it said P equals 123. No one knows what that means, so it makes sense to structure your website to have this post name. And it is a little bit better for you in terms of search engine optimization for optimizing your website to rank higher within search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing, all these different search engines out there. It will appear higher in the results, or at least have a chance to appear higher in the results when you use this format. So let's go down and click Save Changes. And that wraps up this part right here where we've cleaned up some things within the dashboard section here itself. Next, I'm going to go over to where it says Appearance Themes, and I'm going to install our theme that we're going to be using and set up our demo content and plugins for the website that we're going to be building out. And now we're going to get into the fun part. Alright, so from here you're going to go up to where it says Appearance Themes if you're not in there already and go to Add New. And then we're going to go to Search for Themes. Now there's tons of different themes, and again these are like templates or demos to get started on your website. A lot of times when you install them, they don't look exactly how you expect them to look. It might not look like this. If you go to the site, you can see a preview of it, and it looks like this. Actually, that's not too bad, but it doesn't have this big image. It doesn't have that look right there. And there's a lot of free ones and there's also premium ones for themes. I'm going to be using one that has a free and a premium version in this tutorial here. And this one is going to be called Astra. So if we go over here, we can search for Astra and there it comes up, this one right here. We'll click install and then we'll click activate. And now we can go down to this one that says 2019. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to delete the 2019 theme so we don't have extra themes laying around here in the dashboard. Now it says right here, did you know Astra comes with dozens of ready-to-use starter site templates? Install Astra Starter Sites plugin to get started. So that's what we're going to do next here. And if we go over to where it says plugins, add new, there's tons of plugins. Again, there's also premium and free ones for those. And I'm going to go up here and just type in Astra Starter Sites. And it will come up right here, Astra Starter Sites. And I'm going to click install. You can see right here it has over 200,000 active installs and it has 5-star rating basically. So that's a good sign to look at. You want to look at that with themes and plugins. I'm going to activate that as well. It says plugin activated. And let's go over to where it says Appearance, Astra Starter Sites. And here we're going to choose our builder for our project. So in this case, I actually like using Elementor, Brizy. Those are two of my favorite ones. Beaver Builder is pretty good as well. I'm going to use Elementor for this project here, as it is probably the most commonly used one. Gutenberg right here is the one that's built into WordPress, but I don't think it gives as much functionality as these other three over here. I'm going to go with Elementor in this case, but if you're more comfortable with another builder and you've already used these kind of thing before, you can do that. Elementor does have a free option here, and that's what we're going to be using. So if we go next, we can see that there's all these different starter sites or these demo sites. So how it works is we'll click on one of these and import it, and the content should show up like the site. So let's just preview this one right here as an example. So this is a pet website, and if you see, this is basically what your website will look like after you import it, and it will have a bunch of different pages as well on the site. The only thing is sometimes it doesn't actually have your contact form come into play, but if we X out of that right there, we can go back and now we can look and see. Now there's also free ones here and premiums. If it says agency in the upper right corner, that means it costs money for them, and the free ones would not cost money over here. They were not going to say agency in a corner. Now if we go down here, you can see there's a garden and maintenance site right here that could work for our design. I'm actually going to be using a different one. I'm going to go down a little further and it's going to load some more. I'm going to be using this one right here, gardening and landscaping. And if we click on that, we can preview it. And this is what the site looks like. Now I'm going to change some of these things. I'm probably not going to have a blog or a gallery, but if you wanted to have those, you could. I'm just going to have a simple site with home, about, services, and contact. And I'll leave this get a quote button up here as well on our site. But this gives you a preview of what you're going to be able to start with and start building off of once you put this into place. And you can go through and just see all the pages to see if it looks like it would be a fit for you. Now just remember, you can edit all of these pages a lot with these builders like Elementor. And Elementor, we're going to be using the free version, and with our pro version you can do even more edits. I do have a link in the description if you're interested in that, but we're going to be using the pro one here, and we're going to be able to get a lot done with that as well and make a pretty nice website. In reality, this is already a pretty nice website as it is. Here's the gallery, here's the contact form. So if it looks good to you, we can go over and click import site. I'm going to leave all these intact here except the delete previously imported site. Now if you already imported the other one that had to do with gardening, let's say, you can go and click delete previously imported site. I haven't imported anything yet, so I'm just going to use these four and then click import site. And this is going to take a minute or so. It says 2 to 10 minutes depending on the size of the website and speed connection. I've never even had it take a minute before. So let's just have it upload here, and I'll pause the video for a moment and come back when it's ready. Alright, so there we go. It says it was successfully imported in just 45 seconds. We can go ahead and click on View Site to see the site, or you can click Done View Site. I'm going to go Done View Site down here. And now our website went from looking like this right here to looking like this over here. And that is a huge difference, that we have this site that we can build off of now. And you basically can just make edits to the site and have a pretty nice website for whatever you paid for hosting. You didn't have to pay for anything besides the web hosting and the domain name to get this started. And now you can have a website up and running that can drive leads to your business and make you a lot more money on the back end. So I'm going to go and exit out of what our old site looked like over here. And now we have this. If we go back over to this section, I'm going to go and click X to go back into the dashboard. And over here, we can see that this is our logo. Now I call this green thumb. This says green gardener. I'm going to go over in the next step here how to make a logo for our website and how to upload it to the website to replace this one here. So if you don't have a logo yet, you're going to learn how to create one in just a few minutes. And then if you already do have a logo, you can skip forward a little bit in the tutorial and just go to where we upload your current logo. So let's get into that process here now. To get started creating our quick and easy logo, let's go to the HOTH logo maker. So you can actually go and Google that, or you can go to the link in the description that I have down there for the HOTH logo maker. And the HOTH is a search engine optimization company that helps websites rank highly in Google. I do recommend that you check them out because they do have some services that could help you rank highly with this website within your local marketplace, and it might lead to a lot more business. It's at least worth checking out if it's something that you're interested in. And with that being said, let's just dive into the logo maker itself here. So you can go to logomaker.hoth.com to get to this, and there's going to be a logo on there by default. When you go to the site, you can just go and click new up here, and it will say, do you want to erase it? Yes, I do. And then how to create this, we're going to use a symbol. Most logos have some kind of symbol, just like they have one with the HOTH right here. I'm going to go to add symbol, and it's going to load a bunch of different symbols. Now, depending on your business and your needs, you can search through these and find all different kinds of images and things that you can use in a logo. There's so many different things that you could use as far as options go. You can also go to garden right here. There might be something in here that you want to use within your logo itself, and that could be something that's interesting to you. I'm going to go down to where it says marketing, and I'm going to look for a thumbs up since I call this the green thumb. So if I scroll down here, here's a thumbs up. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to click it and drag it and to move it around. You can move it around wherever you want on here, resize it, everything you want like that. Now, you may have noticed if I click on it, it then lights up the area that I'm on, and you can then go over here and start to edit it. So you can change the color right here, and obviously with it being green thumb, I might have it like this, and that actually could probably be the logo itself. It might look a little weird with the knuckles and the fingers right here, but you get the idea of how easy it is to edit right there. Now, let's say you wanted the whole hand to be green like this. You can go in here and copy this right here, and then click on the section you want to change and go in here and paste the code that we just copied right in here, and it will change the whole hand to being green once you do that. If you click on this section, you can change it from blue to something else. Let's say you want a darker blue or something like that. You can change it. I'm going to move it back to kind of where it was. And then we have our symbol here in this case. You can do so much with this. I'm just trying to show you how to make something quick and easy here. And I'll go to where it says add text for the next part, and we can type in our text. So I'm just going to put in green thumb landscaping. And here we can then click on it and move it around. You click, hold, and drag, and you move it around just like we did with the logo. You can put it above, below, whatever you'd like. Let's look how it looks below. It will line up once it's centered. And here you can again change the color of the text. So let's just say we want something more green. You can do that here. And then if we click on it again, we can change the actual text and how it looks as well. So you can go through here. There's so many different ones that look pretty cool. I like to go down and just sort through them because it shows you what it's going to look like right on the spot. I'm going to go with this one right here. It looks pretty good to me. And maybe I'll put it to the right side. So see how HOTH has their logo right here to the left side, and then they have their text to the right. You can also go and resize it so it will line up better with the actual sizing of the logo itself. So once you're happy with how that looks, just click and drag it. And I'm going to just go with this one right here just for this website example. And I'm going to then go to where it says save and download. And here you're going to have to put in a good email address that you're going to be able to receive this logo at. So I'm going to put in my email address now. Click save and continue. And now it says your logo has been sent. You may edit your logo using this URL. So you might want to copy this. It says copy to clipboard. You might want to copy this and save it if you want to go back and edit your logo further here in the future. In this case, I'm just going to go into my Gmail account and then I will pull up the logo from there. So I'm going to pause the video while I log into Gmail here. Alright, so here you can see it says your free logo from the HOTH, and that's what the email should be titled. And you can go to download your logo file right here. If we click on that, it will download. And then within this file, I'm going to open up the folder here. You can then unzip the folder. So let's go to where it says extract all. And it pops up and asks me where I want to extract it to. I'm going to go and put it on I'm going to just put it in my pictures for this and save pictures just for this example. And I'll extract it. And now I have these different logos within this area. So the key one that we want to go for right here is this one right here that is a transparent PNG file. I'm going to rename this as my logo name. So I'm going to call it Green Thumb Landscaping Logo. And then I'm going to actually put that on my desktop. So let me minimize this real quick. I'll get out of here. Green Thumb Landscaping Logo. So once that's on my desktop, I can then go back over here. I'm going to get out of my email here and go over to the site itself. Once we navigate back over to the site itself, we can go to where it says Appearance Customize on the left side. And here we're going to add our logo. I'm going to X out of the zip file down here. And within this appearance area, we can actually go and click right here to edit the element, and it will take us right to where we need to go. It's in the header section. So if we click on Change Logo right here, we can then select and add files to our site. So right now our media library just has the things that came uploaded in the actual website and the demo content. We're going to add a new file by going to Select Files. I'm going to go to the desktop and find this Green Thumb Landscaping one that I just put on the desktop right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in over here in the alternative text as well as the title. You want this to be optimized as your website name, let's say. If I'm Green Thumb Landscaping, I want this to be Green Thumb Landscaping in this alt text, this alternative text. It helps you rank a little bit better. All these little things you can do to improve your chances of ranking higher really pay off, and that's what you want to do by adding it in the alternative text as well. We'll hit select. It will ask me if I want to crop it. I'm going to make it a little bigger obviously here, and then it looks good enough for me. I'm going to click crop image, and I'm also going to go over here as well and change the image, and I'm going to put this one in as well and choose image there. And now we have Green Thumb Landscaping right here at the top. Now, what you can do is you can click publish here, or you can also add a site icon as well, which will go up at the top. Right now, it just shows this globe up there, which is kind of the default. I'm going to go and click site icon. Now, ours would look a little weird in there. I'm just going to put something in there just like this, maybe with this G. You put it up there. I'm going to click select, and I'll hit crop image. And you can see now down here it shows this G, and that's what it's going to look like in the browser. So let's hit publish. And if we go over, I'm going to get out of the HOTH over here, and I'm going to refresh the page. And this is what our website looks like. It has a little G up here as the fab icon, which is the site icon. And then it has our logo right here, Green Thumb Landscaping. So that's how you add the logo to the site. The logo might be a little bit big, but I think it's a good fit for the site, and it just showed you how to make one. That's really what I wanted to do here. If you didn't have a logo, now you know how to make one, and if you already have one, now you know how to add it to the site. So in the next step here, we're going to go through editing some of this content. I'm first going to restructure the pages here and remove the blog and gallery, and then we're going to start to edit the website a little bit more. So let's dive into that. Okay, so what we can do with restructuring our menu here is we can navigate back over to the dashboard. We'll hit X right here out of the customizer, and then we're going to go to where it says Appearance and Menus right here. So right here, there's a lot of different options that you can actually do within a menu as far as adding things, making specific links. I'm going to go through the basics right now. I'm going to just show you if we wanted to get rid of blog, we can go right here and hit remove, and then click right here for gallery and click remove. Now you want to make sure this primary menu is checked right here, and then you save it. That way it will be enforced as the primary menu of your website. So let's say you decide, oh, I really want the blog on a website. You can go right here and click add to menu to add it back. And let's say you want the blog to be a subset or a drop down of the about page, for example. What you would do then is you can go and then put it slightly diagonal underneath it. When you click, hold, and drag, it will now say sub item. If I go and save the menu, let's look at what it does to the website. We should have a drop down now. And now you see it says about, and it has this drop down to go to the blog page. And that's how you create a drop down element or drop down page within WordPress. So I'm going to remove that completely and then hit save menu. But we still have to go and navigate back over the pages to actually delete the pages and clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to click on blog. I'm going to click on gallery. I'll go up here to bulk actions, move to trash, and then click apply. And then from there, what you can do is go over to trash, and we're going to permanently delete both of them as well and click apply. And now those pages are gone. So let's say you wanted to add a different page to this menu. You would simply be in the pages section and click add new, and here you would create your page. So let's just say you wanted a different page for a promotion. Let's just say promotions, and then you would then click publish, and then you could also go down to where it says appearance and menus and add that page in here. I'm going to leave this and not actually add that, but you could add the page from over here that would say promotions, and then add it to menu and navigate it and rearrange it how you want there. So again, I'm just going to save the menu real quick. We won't actually have this promotions page because I didn't create it, but we're going to have these pages right here. If we refresh, we're going to have home, about, services, and contact as our menu options here within our site. So what we're going to need to do is navigate back here, and we're going to go through a few different things that we can customize within the appearance customizer before we actually dive in and start using the Elementor page builder. So if we go through here, it says you can upgrade to Astra Pro. I do have a link in the description if you want to do that. It gives you a lot more flexibility, but you should have no problem building a nice site with this free theme and without having to upgrade Astra Pro, in my opinion. But if you want to, I really appreciate it if you use my link. So from here, we can click on something like global right here, and you're going to be able to change things like the typography. So if we go to base typography, you can change it right here and change what it's actually going to be looking like on a website. That's probably the worst example ever because it says barcode. Now you can't even read the menu up there. But we can go to different ones. Let's just go look for, I'll just click a random one. If we click on that, you can see what it's going to look like. Very hard to read that as well. I'm not doing too good at picking these random ones out here, but if we were to, let's go down a little bit, and this is a very commonly used font right here. We can do that, and then we can also change the size of the font as well. Let's say you want it to be 21. You can see it got larger here on the menu itself. And from here, we can just change it and edit it as we need. Now, you can also change the weight here. You can make it bold if you want. So then it's going to show up a little bit better. I kind of like how that looks. I might make it a little bit bigger, like 20, 22. And it just makes it easier for people to read at that point, in my opinion. So I'm going to go and click publish here to update that font. but you can leave your font as you would like on your website. We can edit all these with Elementor as we're going through the site as well. If we click back here, you can change the heading typography as well. And headings are these sections that are like this right here. Why choose us? What our clients say? Questions and answers. These are the type of things that you can edit in those sections. So I'm going to just leave those as is for right now. I actually might edit this a little bit more and make it a little smaller with this typography here at the top. I think 22 is a little bit big, but I'll leave it as 20 for now and just go from there. I'll hit publish to update it. And you can also change the colors. You can change things with the buttons. From here, you'd be able to edit these colors and the border right there. I'm just going to go back out of here, and you can edit other things in here. There's not a whole lot we can edit. You can edit the footer section, but you can actually scroll down and see right here. You can click on it to edit each section that you want. And it's really just some basic editing with the font is the main thing that you can change in here. But you can also change that as we use Elementor as well. And I'm going to go through how to change a lot of these things in Elementor. If we go back out of here, really that's nothing compared to the power of Elementor, which we're going to get into here. If you see each of these pages says about, and then it has -Elementor at the end. This is the front page or a home page. Let's go and click on Edit with Elementor so we can begin editing our site with this free drag and drop builder in this next section here. Alright, so you may notice this looks a lot different than when we were in the appearance and customization area earlier. So we're finally getting into where we can edit different aspects of the site with Elementor. So first, I'll just touch on these elements on the left side here on the sidebar, and we'll learn about how to edit these 30 different elements that this comes with built in and use them as we go through the steps. I'm basically going to go through some of them as we're actually changing and editing the site, so you get to learn by doing instead of just watching, oh, this is a video, this is an icon. You're actually going to be doing and making some of these changes as we go through this. So the first thing that I wanted to actually change here is this image. And they have this area where you can actually drag and drop an image in, but that's not what we're going to do. We're actually going to go through the process of editing that image here. But first, let me just go through some of these as well. These are the basic ones up here. And these ones include things like videos, buttons, images, text, headings, all these kind of things. And then we have more general ones down here that it says. And these are things like counters, a progress bar, star ratings. You can put a basic gallery if you did want a gallery, or if you didn't want a full gallery page, maybe you wanted to show a gallery somewhere on the site, you could do that. You can use testimonials, which they already have built in down here, and I'm going to use these and just edit those since they're already in place. Social icons, you can actually add toggle tabs and tabs as well. There's a lot of nice little features in here on the site that you can do and use to improve your website. But first, I'm going to go over changing this image here. And there's a couple good places that you can actually get free to use images. And I'm going to go into some of them right here. So one is called Unsplash. There's another one called Pixabay.com. There's actually another one called Pexels, but I'm not going to use that for this, but it's Pexels.com. And you can search for these free to use images on these sites and use them on your website if you don't have images already. So I would recommend, if you are actually doing work, maybe you could ask the homeowner or the owner of the location where you're doing some landscaping if you can take some images and use your own images with you actually in the image, so they can put a face with a name and they can actually recognize the company. Maybe you have a uniform that you have your people wear, or certain attire that they wear with your logo on it. That might be the way to go. But if you don't have that, these are a great option. I'm going to use these sites to create a background here. So I'm not going to use Pexels on this one, but I wanted to show you that if you were to just go on to Unsplash and Pixabay, let's just say I put in lawn in here. These images at the top are from Shutterstock. They're paid images. These other ones below, though, are free to use. So if you wanted to, you could use this lawnmower right here as a free image, or this looks actually pretty cool right there as a free image. You can scroll through here and find some nice looking images. Maybe you want to use this one and act as if you did all this landscaping on this beautiful place. I'm going to do this kind of thing for the tutorial, but I kind of would think that you'd want to stick to something more basic or something that you can actually do, because this is a pretty intense looking job right here. But if that's the kind of thing you do, maybe you would want this if you do landscaping at parks or something like that. So I'm going to go back over to unsplash.com here, and I'm also going to just type in lawn in this section. And I'm probably going to go with this lawnmower one right here just because I think it will look good with the effect that we can have on a site. But you can use something like this and show a yard that you might have mowed. I think it would be nice to show something like, they have a picture of somebody pruning some bushes right here, it looks like, or clipping some bushes. You can actually use this image if you want to, and I would just recommend making it a little bit darker background because I think this text is a little bit difficult to read right here, and you want to make it as easy as you can for people that need to find the information on your site and read the information. It would also make this pop a little more if it was a little bit darker on the background, and then you use lighter text. I think this phone number would pop more, and you're probably trying to get people to call you or to get a quote, so you really want those to stand out. So I'm just going to go up here, and I'm going to end up downloading this one right here. So you just click download photo, and then it saves it onto the computer. Now if I go back over here, the way we can actually edit this is if we go and right click right here, we can click edit section. So we're going to be editing this big header section at this point. Now if we go over to where it says style, we're going to go and see the image here. You can click and choose the image, and let's go to upload files, select files, and this is the download. It's the photographer's name, that's why it says Daniel Watson right there. And once it loads, I'm going to change the title, and I'm just going to put Green Thumb Landscaping. And I'm going to just copy that and paste it in alternative text. And then I'm actually going to go here and click Edit Image. So right now you can see it's a 3 megabyte size file. That's a large image file that can actually slow down your website. So let's just make this right here, say 1800, and we're going to go click Scale. And then we'll click Update. So now the size went to 562 kilobytes, which is about a sixth or so of the size. And I'm just going to click Update again one more time. If we go over here, we can then insert media, and now we're going to have this lawnmower in the site. So you would just insert this right into the site. I'm going to go through it one more time just in case. I think I went a little quick there. If we click here, we're going to have the images that we uploaded here in the media library, and then I'm going to click Insert Media, and that's how you insert it into the site. Now to style this further, we can actually go down to where it says Background Overlay, and this is where I was talking about where you can make it a little bit darker. Now it says background type classic. I'm going to leave that as is, but for the color right here, you can actually change the color. So let's say you want it to be darker. You can go and change it to be darker on your site right here on the back end. And right down below that is going to be the opacity right here. So you can make it darker like this. You want them to be able to see the lawnmower, but you also want them to be able to read the text very well. So you've got to find that balance. I think around 60 looks pretty good, or 0.6 right here looks pretty good. You can also change this color. Let's say you want it to be more green. You could have it like this, and then change the blend as well. So I'm going to click off this again, and you can change the opacity or make it less right in this section and have that green overlay. I'm going to go with 0.6, and I'm going to make it black here for this background because I think it makes the text easier to read than what we have over on, where are we at, right here. So this is a little bit harder to read, especially in this section right here. I think it's a little bit harder to read this than it would be to read this right here. Now that might just be my personal opinion, and I could be wrong there, but you can actually make it darker and even easier to read if you want. So let's just go with 0.65 just for the look here, and then I'm going to click Update. And I will X out of the image down here as well. So the next thing you can do is you can actually edit the text that's on a screen. So it says a garden like never before. Maybe you don't want it to say that. Maybe you could say a lawn like never before or something like that. And you can just type right in there. You can click in it and you can just type whatever you want right on the screen. It's that easy. So it says let's beautify your garden together. You can literally highlight over that and put lawn together. If you want to change the text, you can go to where it says style right here, content, And then you can begin changing it right here. You can change the spacing between. It was at 20, so I'm going to go back to 20. You can go to where it says typography right here. You can change the font style, and it gives you an idea of what some of these fonts are going to look like. So let's just say you want to change it like that. It would look pretty crazy, I think. You could also change it to be more in line with what our logo or our menu up here looks like, where it says let's beautify your lawn together right there. You can change the weight as well to make it thicker. So there's a lot that you can do. You can actually resize it to make it bigger as well. Now just note that you need to make sure it's going to look good on different types of devices, such as a smartphone or a tablet. If we were to, let's just update it right here and say that we like that. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to just remove this text right here. And I'll update it again. So we are just left with this. Let's update this and make this a little bit bigger as well. So a lawn like never before, let's beautify your lawn together, and then it has the phone number right here. I'll click update, but down here is what I want to show you. There's responsive mode, so you can view what it's going to look like on a tablet, on a desktop, on a mobile phone. You can see what your site is going to look like on these different devices and preview it. So you're going to have a responsive design website right off the bat, and it's a great feature that's just built right in to the theme itself with this Astra theme, where you're able to check this and have this mobile responsive design built right into it. So if you want it, you could actually change the color of the text here. I think it looks pretty good right now on this, but you could change that as well by going to where it says style, content, and then color right here within this box itself. And then you can actually edit other things. So let's say you scroll down here and you see this, let's make your garden beautiful and green, and you don't like how that looks. You can simply right click on it and click delete. And then to get rid of this box in the middle now, right click and delete again, and then it will automatically transform there and make the columns fit. If you don't want some of them, again, you can just right click and delete, and change how that looks. You can change the text here just by clicking in it and editing it. It's very easy to get a nice looking site up and running. In fact, it already looks nice as it is, but now you can customize it and make it your own a little bit more here. So I'm just going to go to where it says update, and I'll save that. And next I'm going to go over how to actually navigate from each page from one to another, because you can't, if you go up to the top and you just click on about, it's not going to take you over to about. You click services, it won't take you over to services. And this is something that I never got for like the first time when I was using Elementor. I actually don't even think it was built in at first, and then they added it a little later on. But I'm going to go over how you can navigate from each page, and then how you can add elements to other pages as well. So let's dive into that here next. So to navigate between pages here in Elementor, it's actually pretty easy. So if we go up here and we click on these three bars right here, we can go and click Finder. And let's go and navigate over to the About page. Just as an example, we can just type in About, and then we can click where it says About right here. And it will take us right over to this page. I'm going to X out of these images up there. And this is what our old site looked like. So I'm going to actually let's just X out of there and refresh this before we dive in a little more. So this is what our site looks like up to this point. If we go over to the About page, we can see it here. And this is what the About page looks like. So I wanted to add a different element from the left side here. And let's go and scroll down, and I'm going to go over how to add an element, and then I'm going to go over how to rearrange elements within the page. So let's go and click right here, and we can either click right here and then choose the structure that we want, and then hit the structure and click plus to get an element, or we can just go and simply just click on the element that we want and drag it in. I'm going to use the star rating here and just drag it over and drop it right in there. And here you can choose your rating scale. You want 0 to 5, 0 to 10. I'm going to leave it as 0 to 5 and have a 5-star rating. And from here I'm going to just go and center it. And then I'll go over to where it says style, and I'm going to increase the style size right here for this. I'll make it 40. It looks pretty good to me. You can make it a little bigger if you want, but I think 40, 45, something like that is fine. And you can change the color and spacing if you'd like as well. I'm just going to leave it be here, and I'm just going to go and drag a different element in. And I'll click the plus, and I'll move the heading text over and drag it in from the left side. Again, I'm going to just center it here. And I'll make the heading text an H3 because if we look at the page, this text isn't that big and this heading should be at least similar size. I could actually copy the same font size and everything if I wanted to, but I'm just going to skip through that for now. You would do that in the style so you could find out what it is here and look at the typography and the color and everything to make sure it matches up if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it be for now, but I'm going to go and add my text here. I'm going to use different text. So you can actually type the text here or you can actually do it in this box as well. I'm just going to write something like highest rated landscaping company in Denver. Just because this website's supposed to be about a Denver landscaping company. And then I'm going to click update right here. And what we can do to rearrange the elements is we can actually go and right click and let's go to where it says navigator right here. And this will tell us which section we're on. See, it has this blue box around when we're in this section. If I were to click on this one, it goes around the stars. So let's just say I want the stars to be up at the top or at least higher up. I can go and drag it and then drop it into another section. So now it's behind that section there. I'll go and drag it up one more and there it is. So if I go down here and select the highest rated landscaping company in Denver, I can go and drag it up. And I dropped it too soon, but I can go and drag it up and put it right here to be below where it says highest rated landscaping company in Denver. So let's say you wanted this Why Choose Us to be above that. That would make sense. I'll click on here, Why Choose Us, and I'll drag this up to be above that. And that's how you can easily manipulate and change that. And now I'm going to take this section right here and drag it down. Now sometimes you have to play with it a little bit to get it to fit right. As you see right here, this text is lined up right on it. So I'm going to want to expand that text to give it more spacing between there. So what I can actually do is I can click in here, go to where it says advanced within this text area, advanced, and I can add padding. So if you were to type in padding that you want at the bottom, let's say you want it 80 pixels as an example, it will give you 80 pixels on the bottom, top, everywhere. It will lock it in 80. So if you click this, they're not locked anymore. So let's just say you want to have 10 at the top and then 80 on the left, right, and bottom. I'm going to have the right and left be 0, but I'm going to have 80 on the bottom. So we have this spacing between the elements here. You actually have a spacer area here that you can get as one of the elements on the left side. I'm going to reduce the space right there to make it 100, and then it will fit a little bit better. If you see at the top it's 80, so maybe I'll make it 80 and make it even. So it's 80 up here, and then it's 80 down here. Then we have the 5-star rating, highest rated landscaping company in Denver, and we have 80 at the bottom as well, so it works out pretty well. Then we can just save it. So you can rearrange these and you can see that there's spacer, you can see the intersection spacer, the columns here, and you can rearrange this and navigate these sections around within the Elementor builder easily by using this navigator feature. So next, let's just dive into the services page here. So let's navigate over. We'll go up here again, click right here, go to where it says Finder, and let's type in services. And we'll go right over to the services page now that that one was saved. Now you can edit so much of this text. I'm not going through how to edit each text box because I think you would be bored out of your minds in this tutorial, but you can edit each of these text boxes and change each of these numbers and all these different things on the site here itself. I just want to go over the basics, how to add elements, how to edit different things within there, and have a pretty nice looking site at the end of the day. So now that we're over on the services page, let's just go and add a simple gallery to the services page so these people that are coming to our site are able to see what kind of services we offer and what kind of quality work that we can provide. I'm going to do a simple gallery here just to show you how to add these images if you want to add them on your own site. So let's dive into that next. So adding a gallery is pretty easy. It's basically similar to what we just did with adding the star rating over in the last page here. If we go and click over here on the left side, we'll find where it says Basic Gallery in the General section here. And then we'll just drag it and drop it right over in here. Now we have the gallery. It's right here with this gray background. And if we just click on it, we can see that it says there's no images selected. The default image size is a 150 by 150 pixel image size, which is a thumbnail, and then we have 4 columns. You can totally adjust this. You can change the size. I'm actually going to go 300 by 300, but I'll adjust that after I add it, just so you can see the differences. I'm going to go through some examples here with the gallery itself. So let's go and click Insert. I'm going to use images that were already uploaded on the demo site here within Astra. And I'm going to go through and actually choose ones that are the same size, and I'm going to choose one that's different. So we can see right here it says 450 by 380 pixels. I'll select that one. This one is also 450 by 380, and so is this one right here. Now let me just choose a random one that's not. So this one's 1920 by 400, and it's going to look totally different. So we're going to click Create New Gallery with these images. You can add a caption if you want. I'm not going to do that for this part, and I'll just insert it into the gallery. So right now it looks fine when they're 150 by 150. They're all thumbnail size, so the images look fine. If we go to medium, you can see that quickly changes when we go to 300 by 300 because this is more of a horizontal image. So let's go and say we want to edit that to make the images fit properly so they're all the same size. It's something you really got to consider. And if we go back and we click Add to Gallery right here, I'm going to go down and click this one, which is also 450 by 380, and add it to the gallery. Here we can go and click Insert Gallery, and now we're going to have the same look when it's 300 by 300. When it's larger like this, it's the same look for these images. So I'm going to go 300 by 300, but then I'm going to go and change the columns to be 2, and now we have these in 2 by 2 format here. So by adding this gallery, it's a nice thing that your customers or potential customers or clients can look and see at what kind of landscaping work you've done. They can also scroll through them right here as well. It's a really nice feature that they have to add this basic gallery, nice and easy on your website in just a few clicks. It literally took me like a minute to set this up. Now I know you might have to upload the images and it might take a few minutes, but it's really easy to set it up. Now something I'd recommend is getting images that are a little bit larger. So if we went right here and we click Edit Basic Gallery, you can see right here you can add images, large images like this 1024 by 1024. If you have larger images like that and you want a larger gallery, that's how you would do that. I would recommend having at least like 500 by 500 or something like this, just to make it fit, or maybe this medium large, just to give it a little more of a look, because when they click on it, you can have it show up as a thumbnail, for example, but then when they click on it, it can increase in size. See, this is bigger than 300 by 300, like it looks right there. This is the true size, which was 450 by 380 or whatever it was. I can't even remember, but it will show you the true size of the image. So to point that out a little further, let's just go and I'll click Edit, and then I'll get rid of one and I'll add another one to the gallery that's a larger image. So let's just find something that's pretty big, and I'll go with this one right here. It's a little bit bigger. So I'll hit Add to Gallery, Insert Gallery, and now it looks small right there, but if I click on it, you can see it's a larger image once somebody actually clicks on it to open it up. So just be aware of that when you're going to set this up. It looks smaller right here, but when they actually click on it, it's a lot larger than when you click on this one, due to the actual size of the image being larger in the back end. So I hope that was pretty straightforward and helpful. I'm going to just edit this one more time real quick, and then we'll move on to the next section here. So I'm just going to go back, edit that, add to gallery, and I'll just add one right here that's 450 by 380. Again, you'd want to change this title and alt text, but I just didn't want to go through that again and beat a dead horse in this tutorial here. So the next section, I'm just going to save it and update it, and then we'll navigate over to the contact page. So we can go right here, Finder, and we'll go over to the contact page. And once we get over there, we're going to then edit and set up and configure a new contact form here for this page, and I'll show you how to do that next. So as we all probably know, having a contact form on our site is a great way to get new clients, and it's really a must if we want to get new clients. So in this section here, I'm going to go over how to set up this contact form and how to also edit this quote button so it goes to this contact form as well. So if you can see right here, it's actually very faint, but we have a symbol here with 2 bars and 3 dots between it, and that's where our contact form will actually be. If we click on it, we can see it says WP Forms ID 823. Now let's just go over to the actual site itself. We're going to go over to where it says contact, and right now you can see there's actually no contact form there. So it's really just a shortcode as like an example or like a filler right here for where our contact form would be. But we can actually use this as like a shell and start to create a form that will go in that position. But I just wanted to show you that. So what you're going to need to do is just make sure everything's updated and saved. And then we're going to exit back to the dashboard by going up here to the 3 lines and then going to exit to dashboard. So now that we're going back into the dashboard here, we can then go to where it says WP Forms, and it should have been installed as one of the plugins when you install the demo content. If not, you can go to Plugins, Add New, and search for WP Forms and add it. So I'm going to go to WP Forms now, and it currently says Contact Us, WP Forms ID 7. If we go back over here, that's where this form should be once we set it up. So let's go and click on Edit where it says Contact Us. And there's a few key things here that we need to configure to get our messages going in the right direction. So let's go over to where it says Settings, and then we'll go to Notifications. And right here it says Send to Email Address. And this is basically where we want to receive the notifications. So if you're making this for yourself, maybe you want to put your email address, your company email address, your personal email address, wherever you're going to be able to receive the messages at for the business, that's where you want this to be right here. By default, it's whatever you put in when we were creating the installation for WordPress. So it might already be right, but I like to put it in manually here as well for wherever I want the emails to actually go to. So once you do that, you can click Save up here in the upper right. And then I'm going to go over to where it says Fields right now. And here's where we can actually edit the form. So if you want to, you can actually see where it says click to edit, drag to reorder. So if you wanted to, you can reorder this. I actually like how this form looks, but I'll just go and I'll add in something right here like a multiple choice option. And now you see it says first choice, second choice, third choice. Maybe you want to have this say something in particular. So you click on that, and let's just say lawn care, garden, or something else. I don't know what you would put here, but you could add different options here that they can then select, and then you can drag it to reorder it. Instead of having the subject and message, maybe you have them put what they're actually contacting you about. Now that's just an option right there. I'm going to delete that by clicking right there, and then I'll click OK to delete the field. And I'm going to leave it as is and just save it for this example. So once we do that, we're going to have to go and click X right up here. And then we're going to go over and find our short code. So our short code is right here, WP Forms ID equals 7. And we'll go back over to Pages, go to Contact, Edit with Elementor. And remember, we have nothing showing up here on the site right now. So if we go back over here, click this area with the 3 little dots that are very hard to see. And this says WP Forms ID 823. So we need to change that. You can change it to just say 7, or you can just paste it in. I'm just going to paste it in. And now it shows our form right there. And we can update our form on the site. So if we go back over and we refresh over here, you can see our form is now showing up on a website for somebody to contact us. So what we can do to change this get a quote so it goes to this page is I'm going to copy this URL right here that says contact. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to go to where it says customize, and that gets us into the appearance customizer. And then I'll select this one right here. You would think it would be over here, but it's actually this icon right here, and it says get a quote, button link, and it currently has a pound sign or a hashtag sign. What you would do right there is copy in the link for the contact page that you want it to go to. If you want to change this get a quote text, you can do that right here as well. I'm going to leave it as is and then just select publish, and that will update it. Now if we go and exit out of here, let's just refresh this real quick. I'm going to go over to the home page, and what I'm going to do is just click on get a quote, and it should take us to the contact page. So if we click on that, it navigates us right over to the contact page about getting a quote. You might want to change this to be like what work you need done or something like that in the message to be the default, but I think it's fine how it is. And that will take you to basically the same page. So something that you can actually do from here is if you only want to have this get a quote and not the contact, you can actually go back. Let's go to the dashboard again. And within the dashboard, I'm going to go to our appearance menus. And I'm basically just going to take the contact page off the menu. So if I go and I click remove and save and update it, now we're going to just be able to refresh. And now we have this home, about, services, and get a quote. So that way we have less going on here. And basically this wraps up our website. So there are so many edits you can be doing with Elementor, and even more that you can do with Elementor Pro and Astra Pro. Again, I have links to those in the description if you want to do more and get more advanced on projects or maybe build sites for other people. You can look into those as well. I'd greatly appreciate it if you do use my link for those, because I do get an affiliate commission. It helps me to continue to make these videos for people on YouTube for free. And basically, I really just wanted to be able to make a nice looking site pretty quickly here without having to go into too many of the edits and the boring repetitive details here, like you'd go through editing each text and changing each color and things like that. So I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, I please ask that you give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more WordPress content like this. Thanks for taking the time of your day to spend it with me here creating this website and this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed the content and have a wonderful day. Thanks for viewing.